president came in, the vice president came in, and they made sure that they took action. We passed the American Rescue Plan, which was a plan that put money into people's pockets, that allowed
rescued a lot of families.
Rescued a lot of families. You think about the child tax credit that put money into families, that gave families a little bit of breathing room. You think about how we now have close to 75% or more than 75% of the American population that's fully vaccinated, opening up businesses, opening up schools. That American Rescue Plan that only Democrats voted for, really was historic in growing the economy in a way that we hadn't seen in decades. 7.4 million jobs created. So that's just one part.
So
that's just one part.
Let me ask you then, with that kind of record of success, why doesn't the media focus more on the success of the Biden-Harris administration?
Look, I think that's a very good question. I think we're living in a very polarized country right now. That's one of the things that the president talked about when he was running. How do we bring everybody together? How wanting to make sure that he was a president for all Americans, not just Democrats, Republicans, and independents. And so that's a battle that we are still dealing with. And it's going to take more than 1 year to get to the other side of that, so that it's not so polarizing, so that we can actually get our message through the American people. Because what the president is doing is very popular with Democrats, independents, and Republicans just across the board. When you think about what we've done with the economy, we think about what we've done in trying to beat and fight COVID, which we're still doing. When you think about the bipartisan infrastructure law, that became law. This president brought two sides together to do something that, that Congress has talked about, past presidents have talked about, and have not been able to get it done. And not only it's going to fix our roads and bridges and airports, which is incredibly important for many communities across the board, but the broadband, making sure that there is broadband, affordable internet for all Americans. That digital divide that we have been hearing about for decades. When you think about clean water in our communities, whether you're in rural America or urban America, urban part of America, it is so important to have clean water for our children. So these are key critical things, and creating jobs, continuing to create jobs. And so the president and the vice president, we're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to make sure we lower costs, which is this Build Back Better bill agenda, which is another part of the president's economic plan, to make sure we lower costs, continue to lower costs, continue to invest in Americans, because folks are still suffering. And that's something that this administration understands.